Have you ever felt like your mind was a browser and you have too many tabs open? I know I have. It can feel overwhelming sometimes when there's so many things going on and things are coming at you. And then, not to mention on the spiritual journey, we're processing things internally over and over and over. And a lot of things are happening. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about mindfulness and meditation and mindfulness. And if you're just joining, this is my 30 days of transformation, a journey to your true self, where I'm giving you tips and techniques that can help you discover your best self, and live your best life basically. So today, as I mentioned, we're going to dive into some of the ways that you can find inner peace, because under all of this, connecting to yourself at the highest self requires you to fully listen, get centered, connected, and learn how to cut out the distraction. And that takes practice. It's not something you're going to do overnight. It takes a lot of practice. So I'm going to talk about a few ways we can do that, but let's dive into a little bit of, why is this even an issue? And so as we know, as I mentioned, life is can be a hustle sometimes. It can leave us feeling scattered. I talked about that in the energy. It's not even just our mental aspects or emotional aspects or spiritual. Our energetic aspects can be interfered with and creating this sense of chaos and scattered feeling energy. So if you're new and just watching, make sure to go over to my YouTube channel, go to the live section, and you'll find this playlist. And today is day 6, as I mentioned. And if you're not got plugged into this already, and if you subscribe there and you go ahead and hit that notification bell, it will notify you whenever I come live. So, exploring meditation and mindfulness. Well, as I mentioned, it can be overwhelming and just daily demands that create the sense of feeling pressured and stressed. And because of so much going on, as I mentioned, can be a lot of that internal noise that we have to learn how to dive deeper. And so, what I used to do in this is I kept practicing this, is I would teach myself, excuse me, to go below the chaos. That's what I call it. So there's always going to be external chaos. There's always going to be internal chaos. So you have to learn to go below the chaos. And the way you're going to do that is come into a sense of presence within yourself, your life, and everything around you, and living mindfully. And that could be observing, being more aware, being more intentional, showing up every day from a place of fulfillment, joy, and really getting clear on what matters to you, what matters most in life, and making and setting an intention that your days are filled with things that bring you joy, peace, love, and happiness. And if they don't, then maybe it's time to exit some of those things or to change some of those things. Um, and because I feel like that the other piece of this, it's not about the stuff is going to go away. And that's what most people live for, is a destination, not a journey. And they want this to go away. They think everything's going to go to away, and they're waiting for something. When the kids get older, when I have enough money, when I retire, there's always a what if or a reason that could make us put off to tomorrow what we could and should be doing today, or even in this moment. So, as fast as things are in daily life, it's going to be so important that we come into this place of making a choice and choosing how we spend our time, and choosing what we give our intention to or attention to. Is if something comes in and is just, robbing you of that inner peace and freedom because you can't shut off your mind, then I always use this in this kind of affirmation or this thought, like, don't let other people rent space in your head for free. It costs you a lot of time, energy, effort, and your life when you devote time to the things you don't like or don't want or that is chaos. And so if you can redirect those thoughts, redirect that energy, focus on the gratitude in it, focus on what's positive, those things can help you. But I think you really need to come into this sense of a practice, a conscious combination of mindfulness. And that's what I'm saying. Mindfulness would be present, conscious, intentional, living out these best things. But meditation really works good for this too. And the reason I wanted to bring deeper parts of meditation into this, because a lot of people think, I don't have time to meditate, or I got to like lay down or in bed, or I can't be still that long. The thing about it is, when you really come into mindfulness, your life is a meditation. Your everyday walk and your path becomes a state of meditation because you're that intentional. You become that mindful that you can, with the flip of a switch, start to learn to go in, get centered, get grounded, draw in and feel. That calls for feeling things that maybe you don't like and don't want to feel. And that's where the healing comes in, that you need to heal those wounds so that you can get past the wounds and heal the wounds, so you can truly listen to that true version of yourself that's been asking for, for your attention for potentially your whole life or lifetimes. So a tip here for meditation would be to maybe take a practice and just set your alarm on your phone with something nice, something that's kind of meditative, that doesn't cause you to get sidetracked or jolt you, I should say, out of your mindfulness, but a place of your being able to be reminded to get still, reminded to listen, reminded to connect, reminded to connect to those around you, remind you to realize, I'm living. I'm an example of a living expression of peace or love. And that means you have to demonstrate it. You have to become it before you can even demonstrate it. But this practice is what will help you do that. Now, I just got to share this because of all days, this happened this morning. I saw someone that was in a hurry on the way somewhere, and they were dealing with their phone. They were getting in the car, dealing with their phone, and doing the Hail Mary all at the same time, just because of that's how programmed we are to race, rush, get on with it. And, we've been taught to multitask, and I'm going to tell you, I am and can be one of the best multitaskers that ever lived. Seriously. And it does take certain tasks, and being organized is what I call it. So I'm just going to share with you, this is coming up. A few of the things I practice in that is I'm super organized. I have a plan. I know at the end of the day what tomorrow's going to look like. I know what my week's going to look like. I know what my month is going to look like. I start my day out with intention in myself, most recently working out, and then spending some time in a reading reflection, and usually meditating most every day, anywhere from, probably 20 minutes to an hour, and sometimes more than that. But the point is, though, is coming into this place of taking time to remind yourself to focus on you. And so that's one of the things I have been working on and still planning to work on, is to even set my alarm. It's been in my mind too. And as I tell you this, this is something I still need to get better at, is pausing about every hour for 3 to 5 minutes just to connect. But what I will tell you is, I have bumper stickers in my life that help redirect me in that place. And one of them is Champ. Every time I look at Champ, every time I connect with him, every time I'm like pass him up, or my day starts out, everything comes into gratitude that he's here. And his consciousness just brings me to the present, because ever since he was taken from me, like, I've always been so grateful that I got him back, and he helps me live presently. and helps me live intentionally and mindfully. The other thing is now having my beloved Jeremiah, which he's in some of his own little meditation while he's even still on here, multitasking a little bit. Um, we intentionally, appreciate each other all the time, verbally, lovingly, multiple times a day. So those are like moments of pause. So, and there's power in that pause when you can learn how to pause yourself and get present. So it will bring you the power you need. All right. So if you have missed what I've said, make sure to go back and watch this. This is really good information. If you've missed the whole series, get plugged into the entire playlist of 30 Days of Transformation, Journey to Your True Self on my YouTube channel and a playlist. And the next tip, hey, Heidi, welcome. Oh, thank you. You can relate to this. This is awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad it's right on. So I want to give you another tip when it comes to this meditation and mindfulness. And again, it's practice. Okay, so the tips I'm giving you are simple, yet like practical and also powerful tips that can help you get centered, help you come into the now. So I talked about mindfulness, doing, pauses, becoming meditations, and that you're living example meditations. But the next thing I want to talk to you about is that another tip that can help you is breathing and breath work. Because as a chiropractor, one of the number one things I noticed in patients was that they only use 1/7, and we all do. Okay. Now I have gotten better at this because I'm intentional and I practice this. But most people only use 1/7 of their lung. They're shallow breathers. They are so stressed, they're even holding their breath and hanging on for dear life. And so I could always feel these things working on them, adjusting their back. And I would teach them all of these things whenever I was a chiropractor, always to be more intentional, more mindful, breathe, help them get their back moving, which helps open up the rib cage, and teach them breath work. Okay. Which helps the spinal fluid. But with that being said, um, you know, we need breath. Breath is like a vital need. Like there's a lot of things that we could probably do without in life that we might not think we can do without, but breath, we need a breath to live, right? So a piece of being mindful and in a meditative state would be connecting to your breath. Now, when I say connecting to your breath work is really good, but even just consciously connecting to the breath, coming in and just being mindful of just the breath. Okay. And then if you breathe enough and you get in these really slow, deep, full breaths, that's going to help you get oxygen to your tissues. It's going to help your muscles relax. It's going to help you relieve stress. It's going to help you exhale toxins. And you're going to be breathing in new, fresh air that's going to energize you. So, one of the things I want to point out here that's very important that I've taught for years is a nostril breath, and it can help energize you. So I just want to show you that you can use, and I challenge you, and if you use this and it works, let me know how it does for you. But, for 3 to 5 minutes a day, once a day, this could be your meditation, just to pause, get mindful, and do some nostril breaths. And basically you use your thumb and your index finger, and then your actually your thumb and your ring finger, okay? This way, okay? Not, and I said this is your index finger, but it's your pinky. So, all right, this thumb and index finger, okay? So you're going to start by inhaling. Let's say go up the right nostril, inhale, hold it for a count of like kind of try to inhale on a count of say 3 to 5, something, is get in rhythm. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to switch nostrils and you're going to exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then now you inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch nostrils, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So let's just take 3 to 5 of those breaths. One more set is all the way around. Now, that will open up your third eye. That will bring oxygen to your brain instantaneously. That will activate you in such a way that you have the brain fog and clears so it can remove congested energy that I talked about yesterday. Can really, really help you. Okay, so if you are just joining or been watching, if you've been watching and you've been following this, thank you so much for all your love, support. And this is day 6 of my 30 days of transformation coming live to teach you ways to journey towards your true self. And today we've been talking about meditation and mindfulness of ways that you can connect to your being. And that's one of the things I want to go back and do want to say. I was talking about bringing balance to your breath, your brain, and your body. Okay. So that way, when you focus on your breath, your brain has no choice but to shut down. And then when you connect to that, it really helps you open up. David, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining. And thank you for being such a loyal follower. And you too, Heidi, and everyone else that's following this. If you guys are watching this either now or later, make sure to let me know if this alternating nostril breath has helped you and the experience with it. And for those of you that might be interested in learning more about the Sedona Rejuvenation Retreat coming up April 4th through 7th, there's a link in the description above or below. And so you can check that out. And Instagram, it's in the bio for you. So you can check that out there. But I hope you've enjoyed this today's tip for you to become your true self on this journey. And I love you guys so much. And I'm looking so forward to what's ahead because I already kind of been like sneak peeking a little bit. And I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. Because the thing is, I just want you to know, like, you don't do something like this and transform yourself. So my showing up here, making this commitment, doing this with you, I always change and transform in the process. And for me, I know it's gearing me up to activate a part of me that is the new side of me to even deliver things more simply, more mindfully, and from a place that is the new version of me. And some of you that's followed me for a long time, I know you've watched my own transformation. And again, thank you for being so loyal. And again, if you're interested in learning more about the Sedona Rejuvenation Retreat, where we'll be doing lots of mindful practices and connection to the mind, heart, body, breath, and soul. And not just inside, but we're going to be into the vortexes connecting to that energy, which will amplify what we're doing, as well as the connection in the community. With our connection, it will really make a huge difference. So, yeah, if you missed it, just make sure to check back, and I will see you on tomorrow's live. And hey there. Hey, Sharice, welcome. Thank you, dear. I haven't saw you in so long. Hopefully, it looks like you might have just joined, but this was a really good one on meditation and mindfulness today. And so make sure to check out my other ones that I've done of 30 Days of Transformation. Today's day 6. And that's one of the things I was going to say is I can't even believe we're almost through like 1/4 of this whole journey. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great, great rest